Hey guys, how you doing? I'm gonna read a chapter book. This is gonna be like a series. We're gonna see. I don't know if we're gonna make it the whole chapter to chapter 2, but this book is called Stranded. Host of Survivor. I can't really pronounce the name, but there's gonna be a Stranded 2, Trail of Fire, and Stranded 3 Survivors. We have other books right here, but I'm only gonna do one at a time. But I'm gonna go ahead and read Stranded. I'm not gonna read the part that says the storm. We're gonna see it as we're reading the book, and I'm gonna go ahead and read it. I'm just gonna read it just in case if you really want to read it, but you don't have to change. It was a day 4 at sea, and as far as 11-year-old Carter Benson was concerned, life didn't get any better than this. From where he hung suspended 50 feet over the deck of the Lucky Star, all he could see was a planet's worth of blue water. The boat's huge white mainsail ballooned in front of him, filled with a stiff southerly wind that sent him scudding through the South Pacific faster than they'd sailed all week. This was the best part of the best thing Carter had ever done. No question. It was like sailing and flying at the same time. The hardness around his middle held him in place while the arms in his legs hung free. The air itself seemed to carry him along at speed with the boat. How you doing up there, Carter? Uncle Dexter shouted from the cockpit. Carter flashed his thumbs up and pumped his fist. Faster! He shouted back. Even with the wind whipping in his ears, Dex's huge belly laugh came back, loud and clear. Meanwhile, Carter had a job to do. He wound up the safety line from the harness in the figure 8 around the cleat on the mast of secure himself. Then he reached over the unscrewed the navigation lamp he'd come up here to replace. As soon as he pocketed the old lamp in his rain slicker, he pulled out a new one and fitted it into the fixture, making sure not to let go before he tightened it down. Carter had changed plenty of light bulbs before, but never like this. If anything, it was all too easy and all too fast. When he was done, he unwound his safety line and gave his hand signal to Dex's first mate, Joe Canella, down below. Wait, let me set it up. Okay. The time as I was recording. Joe put both hands on his winch and at the base of the mast and started cranking Carter back down to the deck. Good job, Carter, Joe said, slapping him on the back as he got there. Carter swelled with pride and adrenaline. Normally, replacing the bulb would have been Joe's job, but Dex trusted him to take care of it. Now Joe jerked a thumb over his shoulder. Your uncle wants to talk to you, he said. Carter stepped out of the harness and stowed it in its locker. Just like Dex and Joe had trained him to do. Once that was done, he clipped the D-ring on his life jacket and safety cable that ran the length of the deck and headed toward the back. It wasn't easy to keep the footing of the Lucky Star pitched and rolled over the waves, but even that was part of the fun. If he did fall, the safety cable, also called the jack line, would keep him from going overboard. Everyone was required to stay clipped in when they were on deck, whether they were up on up there to work or to puke like Buzz was doing right now. Oh, puke like Buzz was doing right now. Gross! Watch out! Buzz! Carter said, pushing past him. As was all Buzz said in return. He was leaning against the rail and looked both green and gray at the same time. Carter kind of felt sorry for him. They were both 11 years old, but they didn't really have anything else in common. It was like they were having two different vacations of it. Gotta keep moving, he said, and continue on toward the back, where Dex was waiting. Hey, buddy! It's getting a little choppier than I'd like, Dex said as Carter stepped down the cockpit. Need you guys to get below. I'm gonna read. I don't want to go below, Carter said. Dex, I can help. Let me steer. No way, Dex said. Not in this wind. You've been great, Carter, but I promised your mom before we set sail, no kids on deck if these swells got over 6 feet. Do you see that? He pointed to the front of the boat, where a cloud in the sea spray had just broken over below. That's what a 6-foot swell looks like. We've got a storm on the way, maybe a big one. It's time for you to take a break. Come on, please, Carter said. I thought we came out here to sail. Dex took him by the shoulder and looked at him square in the eye. Remember what we talked about before we set out. My boat, my rules. Got it? Carter got it. All right. Arguing with Dex was like wrestling a bear. You could try, but you were never going to win. Now grab your brother and get down there, Dex told him. Okay, fine, Carter said, but he's not my brother, by the way. Just because my mom married his dad doesn't mean. Ask me tomorrow if I care, Dexter said, and gave him a friendly but instant shove. Now go. Benjamin, Buzz. Dies lifted up his head from the rail and looked out into the distance. I think that's enough, guys. But I hope you enjoyed that story that I'm reading, Stranded. Again, that's what it's called. But you'll also see it. What the video is gonna be called. But I hope you enjoyed the video of Stranded book. I'm Firebird Awesome, and I will see you guys later.